This is the weekly sales meeting for December 21st, 2025. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, manufacturing good luck. In our media sales universe, there are three fundamental variables. These inputs will determine your earnings level. They're the number of customers you have, the amount each one invests with you each month, and the number of months out of the year they buy from you. Change any one of those variables up or down, and your results will shift. Increase the number of customers, raise the monthly investment, or extend the buying period, and you can change your fortunes. The converse is also true. This is only half the story. Luck is too often seen as random. Good luck isn't random, it is manufactured. As the Roman thinker Seneca is credited with saying, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. If you build the right practices, you pull the switch. You are not hoping for a lightning bolt, but creating the conditions for one to occur. Here are some ways you can work the system to manufacture your own good luck. You can tie them directly to the real variables that drive your results. Start by showing up where your competitors won't. Think of a seller who attends a local Chamber of Commerce luncheon, then follows up personally the next day. You meet a small business owner who casually mentions they run a community event every October. Others attend events in the time window just before the event and pitch under pressure. But you show up many months earlier. You build a relationship, understand the event cycle, and propose a year-round sponsorship program. Instead of a one-time buy, 1 month, you land an extended contract, several months. Yes, this is possible. By being visible and present in places your competitors neglect, you generate opportunities to move the month's purchase variable or add a new customer altogether. Studies reveal that those who are consistent in their outreach outperform those who wait for inbound to happen. Fortune favors the bold, not those who sit and wait for the order to come to them. Good luck happens when preparation precedes opportunity. The medium may be outside field visits, community presence, or networking, but the outcome is the same. The more touch points you create, the more your odds improve. Rarely does it work the other way. Do the work before you need the win. When we invest effort ahead of time, we are in a better position to increase investment per customer and to extend the purchase months. Let's say you're selling a television plus a digital offer to a regional retailer. You've already researched their annual promotional calendar, you mapped out their foot traffic peaks, and from that designed a multimedia opportunity that can run for 9 to 12 months, rather than a mere spring campaign. When you sit down with them, you are not operating from weakness, you are prepared to make a recommendation. You have a plan of attack. You are not relying on the customer to be the expert. You are the educated outsider prepared to move into the role of business advisor. You've done the work. There's a reason 80% of sales require 5 or more follow-ups to close. Most media sellers stop at 1 or 2, and the higher the ticket price and the more complicated the offer, the more this number increases. Adopt this practical mindset of doing the work before you get the win. Professional athletes practice as much as 40 hours a week for a 1-hour game. It is part of the job. Have systems in place to help you achieve this level of motion. Be relentless in your follow-up. If your client invests for 3 months but never hears from you again, you have left opportunity on the table. If you follow up after month 1 and month 2, you can catch renewal windows. This is one way to increase the months variable. Statistically, only 2% of sales are made on the first contact or after the first conversation. So why do we always expect to close at the first meeting? 80% of all sales require between 5 and 12 contact attempts, yet almost half of salespeople stop after 1 attempt. We give up after the opening conversation. Most sellers never create a good luck environment. We give up way too soon. By implementing a disciplined follow-up cadence, you increase your chances of both closing new business and extending existing business. Let's say you meet a prospect in February. In March, you follow up with an additional opportunity, but it does not close. However, it leaves the door open for another opportunity. The more the prospect sees you as a resource, the less likely they are to treat you like an average salesperson. So when you arrive in April, you can offer value or correlate new data. When this pattern continues, by June, you will have moved from "do you want to run this month?" to "let's build a campaign to handle the rest of the year based on your calendar." You have changed all 3 variables. You added a new customer, increased the average order, and added months of spending to your roster. Still believe success is based on luck? Consistent follow-up builds trust. Research in buyer behavior shows that technical competence alone is less important than consistency, presence, and reliability. The seller's interpersonal skills plays a strong role in repurchase intention. Contrast this with the hard sell approach of the one-call close sellers. Typically, this approach causes a decrease in purchase intention. It turns off the buying community. It makes a negative luck environment for the sales profession. Get more traction from staying in motion and staying in contact. Learn how to ask better questions. Be in constant learning mode. If you are asking the same questions you were asking when you started selling, you might be doing yourself a disservice. You have not evolved. Asking better questions influences all three of our performance variables. This practice can help you uncover more customers by spotting needs others may miss. We can increase investment levels by exploring what matters, solving problems, and pricing them accordingly. And it can offer more opportunities for more purchase months by uncovering upcoming cycles and triggers. Curiosity uncovers insights. When you uncover a truth like our brand support drops off during our quieter months, you can craft a solution that meets a need they didn't know they had. That leads to higher investment and longer programs. Many buyers default to what they've always done. They are creatures of habit. Some will say, we will run our fall campaign and then we are done. But you can ask, what happens to your brand during the off-season? How do you maintain momentum? Who do you lose to if you go dark? With better questions, you can expand the buyer's view, and you, as the seller, will shift from transactional to strategic. That shift allows you to raise the investment, lengthen the term, or both. Keep positive motion. Add this to your positive mindset. Motion creates collisions. Mindset only imagines them. It's like the lottery. You can't win without buying a ticket. When you actively make calls, you get a ticket. When you schedule meetings, you get a ticket. When you attend events, you get a ticket. When you craft follow-ups, you increase the number of lottery tickets you buy. Each new customer is one more ticket. Each extra month is an extra chance. Each higher investment is an extra stake. If you stand still, doing only what is required, you will stagnate. If you are in motion, you move the ticket count upward. You design bigger programs and better offers, investment levels, and cultivate relationships which bring on renewals, number of months. Fortune favors the bold. That doesn't mean attack with reckless abandon. It means taking consistent action. It means calling clients you've never met. It means sitting on community boards. It means asking for referrals. It means exploring adjacent budget lines. It means offering cross-media integration. It means doing all of this while your competitors retreat to comfort zones. If you are seen as the progressive innovator in your marketplace, more people are going to want to see you, rather than running out the back door when your car pulls into their parking lot. We've all had that happen, and if you haven't, make more calls. The seller who doubles their billing doesn't wait for the inbound leads. They attend a trade show months ahead of the peak. They host a breakfast for local advertisers. They follow up with all attendees. They asked about annual purchases. They uncovered a need for mid-year campaigns. They not only sold a 12-month offer to a new client, but also extended another customer with an off-cycle purchase. They were in motion when others were idle. And yeah, they looked lucky, even though the luck was manufactured. Lisa is an outside TV and digital seller in a medium-sized market. Her baseline is 30 customers with an average investment of $2,500 a month and an average term of 6 months a year. That gives her the revenue of $450,000. 30 times 2,500 times 6. She wants to hit $600,000 this coming year. She can adjust any of these three variables. She can add 10 new customers at the same spending level and term. She could keep the current customer base and try to find a way to get them to spend 1/3 more. Or she could attempt to get each of her customers to buy 2 more months of the year. Or it could be a combination of all of these. What does Lisa do? She shows up at local business mixers where vendors gather, but competitors don't. She meets 15 new prospects in 30 days. She does the work. She researches each prospect's annual calendar, builds draft plans, and arrives with suggestions at the ready. She follows up relentlessly. Lisa executes multiple touch points. It's not 1, not 2, but 5 to 8 touches per lead over 6 weeks. She distances herself from the average seller who stops after 1 or 2. She asks better questions. For example, how do you maintain brand awareness between your big seasonal pushes? And what happens if you go dark for 4 months? She uncovers the need for off-season media investment. She remains in motion. She is creating proposals, scheduling meetings, and inviting referrals. She doesn't collapse into a quiet month mindset. What happens to Lisa? She picks up 10 new customers, each at $2,500 a month. But for 9 months, she added $225,000 in new business. This is all found or incremental revenue. Simultaneously, she proposes for her top 20 customers an upgrade to $3,750 a month and extends their term to 8 months. This adds $120,000. Together, that pushes her revenue to almost $800,000. She isn't luckier than any other seller. She has actively changed her input variables. Media sales is cyclical, it is competitive, and it is often driven by external forces. You cannot control when the economy dips or when a big client freezes budgets, but you can control the number of customers you engage, the size of the programs you propose, and how many months you maintain the client. You manufacture your own luck by focusing on the variables within your control. Preparing, work before you need it, showing up, visibility where others aren't, following up, persistence, asking smart questions, curiosity, and staying in motion, momentum, aren't only good habits. They are systematic ways to shift those variables in your favor. As Emily Dickinson once wrote, luck is not chance, it is toil. Fortune's expensive smile is earned. The seller who hits record numbers doesn't wait for the inbox to ping. They build the pipeline. They mine the territory. They ask the tough questions, keep the motion going, and extend contracts. They made their own fortunes smile. Pay attention to your customer count, each customer's monthly investment, the average order, and the number of months purchased. Pick one of the 5 manufacturing luck practices to focus on this week. Measure your progress. How many new touches? How many months were extended? How many proposals were raised? Share success stories with team members and staff. You will find others are doing similar things. Team members who look lucky are merely more disciplined in their habits. Luck is not random, it is a byproduct of action. If you consistently apply these disciplines, you will shift your results. You will manufacture your own good luck. And in doing so, you won't be reactive. You won't be waiting for something to happen. You will be active in creating the conditions for success. That is winning in our sales business. My new book, Double Your Revenue, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or 2. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.